Hey there, Diane Conklin with CompleteMarketingSystems.com and Diane'sFarmDozen.com. We are going to, in the new series, 12 episodes again, a la Diane's Farm Dozen, talk about the lessons that I learned growing up on a farm and how it relates to business. Now, I know based on my speaking that very few people relate to growing up on a farm anymore. I grew up on a 75-acre farm in rural Ohio. That's the picture of part of the farm in the background. You couldn't, it's an aerial shot, but it would have been, you wouldn't have been able to see the house to get the whole 75 acres in probably. Um, and my dad farmed 450 acres in addition to the 75 that we owned, and worked a full-time job, third shift, uh, pretty much my entire childhood. And I could probably count on one hand the number of sporting events that he missed that I participated in. So hard work is sort of in my blood. I have had a coach tell me once you could take the girl out of the country, but not the country out of the girl. And that's probably very true for me. It's kind of ingrained in you, when you spend 18, 20 years of your life in a particular environment and working in a certain way, it just kind of sticks, right? But there are a lot of things that I think between the farm and my sports background have really helped me in business and have helped me excel and really do some of the things that I've done, which probably surprised a lot of people from that farm community where I grew up. But I want to talk about basically, there's going to be, well, not basically, exactly 12 things. And so we're going to talk about hard work. We're going to talk about everything having a season. We're going to talk about the fact that you have to reap before you can sow. Um, you know, we so many times in today's society get into this mode of I don't feel like it. Well, on a farm, it doesn't matter what you feel like, right? There's work to be done, and there's always work to be done. It's never finished. You're never at the end of no day, kind of like in business. Do you say, "I'm caught up, everything's done," right? Because there's always more to do. And 75 acres that I grew up on in today's world is a small farm. That's a family farm. That's all that was, right? You're talking tens of thousands of acres now and they're owned usually by big companies and have lots of employees and that kind of thing. That's not the kind of farm that I grew up on. But some of the other things that we're going to talk about in this series is being prepared, having a backup plan. We're going to talk about no excuses, right? We're going to talk about how sometimes it's the outcome that's important, and sometimes it really is the process. In business, we talk about it doesn't matter, how you get there. Well, sometimes it does, especially on a farm. And in business, it's very true. We're going to talk about the fact that you can't do this alone. Nobody, I don't know any solo person that's running a farm. Now, it might be a family like ours was, right? The three kids, mom and dad, pretty much most of the time. We did hire on occasion, but you can't do it alone, just like in your business, right? And we're going to talk also about alternative ways to do things and plan B's and C's and D's kind of thing. So we're going to talk a lot about a lot of different things in the 12 episodes as we move along. I'm really excited. I hope that you will get a lot out of it and that you'll give me some feedback on your take, what you agree with, what you don't agree with, lessons maybe that you've learned, because I'm going to talk a lot about the lessons that I've learned, and I'm going to probably tell you a lot of silly stories and things that happened over the years at the farm. Look, and it's kind of like business. Not every piece of the farm life is enjoyable. I have a I'm not a chicken person. I'm not a bird person. I have a nice little fear built in. I'll tell you some stories about some of those kinds of things we had on the farm. Dad planted beans and corn, wheat and oats. Those were primarily the crops. We had our own cattle. We had our own pigs. We had chickens. We had apple trees, and we used to go out and pick blackberries, not these big ones that you get at the store now, but small blackberries, wild, growing on the fence lines. Um, and so it was a really, I don't know that cool is the right word, but it was a great way to grow up. and the lessons that it taught me. By the way, you see that barn right there, those two barns right there. I spent hours when I wasn't doing chores and when I wasn't helping do things on the farm or in school or doing homework. I spent hours throwing my softball. For those of you who got the Diane's dozen that was related to sports, I spent hours throwing a softball up on the slope of those barns, the roof of those barns, and catching it as it came off. Many times, I can't tell you how many times I threw the ball over one of those roofs and landed over there in the cow patty. And the cow, this is the cow where the cows, we kept the cows when they came in from the pasture, and there were plenty of patties that you had to pick the ball up from. So, um, but I really want to talk not so much about my life, but how those lessons relate to business, and how you can take those things and use them in your business to move your business ahead and to move your business to a place where you want it to be. Because I will tell you, in the 30 plus years that I've been in business, I've never made less than six figures from year one. And, maybe you're way beyond that. Maybe you're not there yet, but I can attribute a lot of the lessons that I learned both in sports and on the farm to my success in every other aspect of my life, helping other people, doing the things that I've done. And again, if you went back and asked 10 people, probably eight of them would have said, that there was no way I'd own my own business and have owned my own business for 30 plus years and have the success that I've had. Certainly, I could have been bigger successes, but it's mine. And so I'm hoping that by doing this, you will get a lot of benefits. We're going to do 12 episodes and I'll do a wrap up. So there's 14 videos in all. Feel free to comment. Feel free to get me on social, email, whatever you want to do. I'm pretty easy to find at Diane Conklin or Complete Marketing Systems, either one. And let me know what you think. We're going to do 12 episodes and I'll do a wrap up. If you want all 12 of them right now, even before we start, you can get those. Just go to dianesfarmdozen.com. And we'll have a nice PDF there where you can download everything and make sure that you get all 13 in addition to this one of the videos. All right. Until next time, I hope that you have an amazing day and we'll see you next time. Take care.